Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is still Wednesday, April 27, 2022. This is my post-market report. What a weird freaking day. I mean, this market pretty much higher all day long. We did finish in the green for the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500, which is about 4183. Okay, I told you to watch that 4150 level, but just weird. You got the 10-year yield, which made a substantial move higher. What does that mean? Cash is coming out of the debt market. The dollar strength remained high, relative strength of the dollar, referring to the Dixie. Just a kind of a strange freaking day, and we got some interesting economic news and a chart that you got to see. I want to go over that with you here. So on the back of this really freaky day in the market, S&P 500 is still holding above a key level here. Again, I've gone over this this morning in a special report video that I did yesterday. I spoke about this on Friday when the market sold off. It still looks like a retest is underway. We're going to need to watch this and see where it goes. And then again, look, just because, let's say, for example, let's just throw a hypothetical out here. Let's say the S&P breaks below 4150. Does that mean that, we got to go running for the hills here, panicking, running through the streets? No. We just got to sit back and reevaluate the situation here. That's, again, there's no reason ever to get bent out of shape. If you're getting bent out of shape, there's something wrong. Understand? Okay. So on the back of the market today, I already explained to you, 10-year yield came up, cash leaving the debt market, dollar strength higher. Of course, gold and silver got hit today. Nothing major, falling about 0.9% each. Bitcoin still holding its own around 39,000 here. Crude oil getting a bit higher. Okay, imagine my shock there. Anyway, look, that's the story with the market. Now, let's talk about some news that we got. We continue to hear revisions with regard to United States GDP, gross domestic product, moving forward, and it continually gets revised lower, repeatedly lower and lower and lower. I mean, it's amazing. How does anyone that works for the propaganda ministry keep a smile on their face trying to sell you some kind of dog shit news that we're booming? Meanwhile, our economy we're doing so great and everyone's rich. Meanwhile, it's just all, it's so in our face. Now let's move on here. We got another warning today from Wells Fargo on a possible recession coming in the not so distant future. And people, look, a recession to me, honestly, would be a step higher from where we are now. We're in free fall. And it's not just the U.S. economy, it's global. It's a global issue. And I think we all understand that. Now, going back to domestic news, pending home sales nosedive, people, for 5 straight months. Meanwhile, prices continue to rise. This phenomenon is not going to stop. And I'm going to show you something that you need to see. These are 2 charts that I taped together for you. Do you see anything that looks familiar here? Does this resemble that? What is this? Number one, these are right from the Federal Reserve's own website. Right up here, this is the money supply. All right? Right here is Federal Reserve asset purchases. This is their balance sheet. Do they look similar to you? Do these slopes look similar to you? I've been explaining since time immemorial that the Fed is issuing debt, the dollar being a unit of debt, and then using this to buy assets. Okay, if you need any more proof than this, I don't know what else anyone in the world could possibly show you. And it's not stopping. All right, this is going back here to May of 2020. And it's the same thing, and it's not going to stop. There's no end in sight. Ballooning the money supply, buying assets, And this is what the Federal Reserve and other central banks are going to continue to do. It's not going to stop. Do you know how inflationary this is? I've been telling people for years that this mechanism of the Federal Reserve, issuing debt through one door and then buying it back through another door, here's the visual proof of that, okay? This mechanism is massively inflationary. Let me ask you, why hasn't something like this been shown to a member of Congress, a senator, or something along those lines? What do you think they would do if they saw this? Do you think they may, at this point, hold the Federal Reserve accountable for, surging, skyrocketing inflation? No. Even with visual proof of what the Federal Reserve is doing, they still will not hold this institution accountable. Nobody is. And the lie continues to be propagated even today across the spectrum of the propaganda ministry, CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg. The same thing. Oh, the Fed's going to be raising rates. That's going to really slow down inflation. You got to be kidding me. I almost can't take it when I hear that anymore. Okay, because it's such a bold-faced lie. How anyone in this world or off this world, some alien from I don't know where, you don't even need one fraction of a functioning brain cell to realize that, number one, this isn't going to stop. All right? Money supply ballooning. Fed's asset purchase is going to keep going on. All right? Not only that, but what I was trying to get to here is by the Fed nudging the federal funds rate, which I've spoken about 1,000,000 times, it's not going to do anything about inflation. In fact, it's going to propel it higher. Because why? They're not raising the benchmark higher than the actual rate of inflation or even their own numbers. By not doing that, they are guaranteeing that inflation is going to continue to skyrocket. I mean, seriously, people, does this get to you as much as it gets to me? Because I literally feel like my blood pressure getting higher. Anyway, look, it's just too much. So on the back of this market here, going back to that, which seems to me to be retesting that recent low, 4150 on the S&P 500, there's a couple of dynamics in play here that may back up my thesis that this is a retest. That doesn't mean that we're not going to break through it. Look, just because you're retesting something, what is a retest? Okay, this is a great question someone asked me earlier. Okay, the market will find a floor. I went over this recently. Okay, go higher. Then when dynamics change, like news, for example, the war is expanding, COVID keeps going on, which it won't stop. Talking about exploding debts and deficits and everything else. What the market tries to do is retest that low to see, hold on a minute. Okay, a few things have changed. Let's see if the market is still going to hold the recent low. That's why you see retests in the market. And sometimes you can get more than one retest. You could get a retest, a bounce, a retest, a bounce, a retest again, and until the market figures out what it's going to do. And I think really that is what's going on here. Look, the economic news does not stop. It's miserable. We haven't had one single piece of good economic news in years and freaking years. Going all the current freak Bidenstein, this entire administration has been abysmal. The whole last freak, Trump, we never had a single piece of good economic news, and neither did the other one, Obama. It was all easy money propping up this market. And once the market realizes that this mechanism here is not going to stop, it's not going to stop. That's when I believe this entire thing is going to turn around here. Yes, we are going to get more rate hikes. And I'm referring to the Fed nudging that federal funds rate here, which should be bullish for financials. Although obviously know that banks have fallen under a lot of pressure lately because of the potential risk of Russian debt exposure. I think once that comes to light, this is all going to turn around here. But anyway, look, I think you got the picture. You know what's going on here. You're already in the right spots. You're diversified. You got yourself in a lot of different spots. At least I hope you do. You should be in consumer staples, MOKO, IBM, doing excellent. I explained this recently, put it out in my free newsletter, link in the description of this video, posted to my website, commodities, PDBC, oil and gas producers, people. It's not just the freaking banks, which people seem to be fixated on right now, okay? And in my view, again, we just got to be patient. And we'll see where this goes. It's that freaking simple. This is not complicated. It gets complicated when people start making a big deal out of nothing. Maybe they're in the market, they shouldn't be here. Maybe they need to work a 9-to-5 kind of job and get a steady paycheck. Guys like me, and I'm sure many of you out here who are speculating in the markets, we realize that this is the way it is. This is the nature of the business. And you, like I said recently, you can't just be smiling when the market only goes in one direction, higher, higher, higher. You got to be able to ride through the storms like this here as the market adjusts to whatever's coming down the pike here. And again, just looking at the 10-year yield, there's nothing major going on. This is no big crash. It seems to me like we still remain in a corrective phase. I mean, who would be surprised about this? A market that's gone straight up since literally the last meltdown of 2008. Then all of a sudden we get this kind of a lull and people are, running for the hills here. You got to be kidding me. People have made so much money in this market over the past X amount of years here. Now they're complaining that over the last few months, maybe a part of their portfolio isn't doing so well and they're crying about it. Man, I tell you, there's some pretty ungrateful people out here. They have no idea what's going on. Anyway, look, but you do. You clearly understand the situation. You know what's going on right now. You understand the dynamics in play. You know what we're looking for with regard to the S&P 500 still holding its own. Let's see if we break below that. And if we do, we will reevaluate. It's that simple. We will still continue our strategy, betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank, at least having some cryptocurrencies in your portfolio. I still believe you need to be long certain aspects of this market. I have no intention of selling my core positions, which include banks, which pay me a nice dividend every quarter. On top of the other positions I am in, and everyone can see it right on my website, traderschoice.net. Look at my stock picks there. Anyway, that's it, people. That's where we are. And I hope this makes sense to you. And I hope this makes sense to you too. I want to hear from you. What do you think of this? Okay, this is where we are today. And just look at this. The money supply ballooning as the Fed is inflating the money supply to buy assets. It's in your face. It's right here. And you can see this again right on the Fed's website. I taped these two together so you can see one over the other. But what do you think? Do you believe, question, do you believe this mechanism is going to stop? Or do you believe that this mechanism is going to continue? And let me ask you while we're on that. Do you think that the Fed is going to be held accountable? Okay, they had a 2% target. 2%. On their rate of inflation, okay? They were admitting they want inflation to rise at 2%. We're at 8.5%, and it's way higher than that. So, do you think now seeing this, that the Fed will be held to account, or you think we're just all freaking screwed, and this mechanism is going to continue, and that's the end game here, a wipeout of an entire class of people? It's unbelievable. People keep focusing on this war over there. What about everything else that's going on? Is that the only thing? No. You got the propaganda ministry telling you how rich you are. You got the propaganda ministry telling you how great our economy is and we are booming. Make it up. Make this stuff up, please. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the morning. Please share the video. Please answer my questions. I will read the comments. Love you a lot. See you in the morning.